Shout out to Blue Apron for sponsoring this update. Blue Apron is the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country. See what all the fuss is about and get $30 off your first order when you visit blueapron.com/theknow. Welcome to The Know, I'm Ashley. 343 Industries may be gearing up to create a Halo-themed VR experience according to a new job posting. Bless you job postings for always giving us the best gaming news, doing the Lord's work. The posting showed up on Microsoft's LinkedIn page where the company is seeking a creative director to join us in delivering an all-new VR experience in the Halo universe. This is prompting a lot of speculation that Halo 6 could include some type of VR functionality, but the details of the listing also seem to indicate this might be a separate project altogether. It goes on to say that this project will be happening via an external studio. However, it does mention being able to mix game mechanics with narrative immersive storytelling. Whatever it is, definitely sounds interesting, and Halo would be a great avenue for some type of VR game. Now, you might recall we did already have something of a trip to VR in the Halo universe already. In the fall, they released a small Halo introductory title called Halo Recruit. Regardless, really interested to see what they do with this. Bungie's rolling out a new update for Destiny 2 that they're hoping will address a variety of concerns players have had with the game since its launch. The Go Fast update drops today for Guardians, introducing a number of fixes to make players feel awesome again, following complaints that the game's interesting pieces have all been neutered in Destiny 2. Sandbox design lead Josh Hemrick said in a new video about the update, "For tomorrow's update, we've drastically increased your super regeneration, weapons are going to hit harder, abilities are going to come faster, hero moments are going to make a return. This is a motion towards what we believe is the right direction." And I think this update, especially for Sandbox, is by and large the biggest version of that. We hear what they're saying, we trust what they're saying, we also believe in those things, and we want to make a game that we all love. Rare's decided to kill a sort of controversial game mechanic they were thinking of introducing into Sea of Thieves after players made it very loud and very clear they don't want it in the game at all. In a recent update, the developers said they'd be adding a small gold fee when players died, with the scale of payment going up depending on how avoidable the death was. However, pirates have responded with a definitive "nar" to that proposition, so Rare's walking it back. The company announced yesterday, "One piece of additional feedback we've seen is around a proposed change listed in our release notes last week, and we've heard the sentiment there, so I can confirm that death cost is, well, dead. Thanks for the feedback here, we're listening." Ikaruga, the classic or notorious, depending on your outlook, bullet hell shooter could be getting a PS4 re-release according to a new listing by a ratings board. German board USK has a PS4 version of the game on its site, giving it the same rating it received on both Xbox 360 and GameCube. Whether this is a full-on remaster, simply a re-release, what exactly it is, even if the listing is real, sure, it's anybody's guess, but it's interesting to see it pop up after all these years. Ikaruga first dropped all the way back in 2001 and has since earned a solid reputation as one of the best shoot-'em-ups ever made. If that sounds interesting and you don't want to wait for a supposed PS4 re-release that may or may not ever happen, well, you can go ahead and grab the game on Steam right now, just saying. Star Fox celebrated a milestone this week. It was 25 years ago this week that the original game debuted on Super Nintendo. Nintendo of America noted the anniversary in a tweet and added that the game was the first to utilize the Super FX chip. That chip was a coprocessor which was added to some SNES games to render 3D polygons and to help render advanced 2D graphics. It was also used in games like Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Of course, the Star Fox franchise went on to release several very well-received games, including Star Fox 2, which officially released last year for the SNES Classic Edition. Could we be getting a Switch version of Star Fox? Maybe they're warming us up on the franchise? I don't know. Fingers crossed, because I would like to see Star Fox come back. Just me? Yes? No? Fox has once again shuffled up their superhero slate, and that means you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for the next X films. Dark Phoenix was supposed to come out this November. It's now taking Valentine's Day weekend 2019. Maybe possibly hoping to copy Black Panther's past to crazy financial success. That 4-month push is pretty painful, but they pushed New Mutants yet again. Remember, it was supposed to come out a few weeks from now, and then it got pushed to February 2019. Now, well, they've got another movie coming out February 2019, so this one's coming out August 2nd, 2019. That's a hell of a push. We know they're gonna do some reshoots to add some new characters to the cast, and there could be more to those reshoots considering just how much more time they're gonna spend and working on it. But don't forget that New Mutants is a superhero horror film, so moving closer to fall might be a little bit more appropriate than their previous release date in February. Maybe the dates will also stick this time. We'll see. Well, I got some good news for you gumshoes out there. Man, I'm so excited about this one. Carmen Sandiego is coming back, and this time she's getting her own movie. Where in the world can you see it? Netflix. Of course they would be the ones to bring back Carmen Sandiego. I'm so excited. Oh, do you think they can they'll get the dudes to do the music and be like the super deep voice like Carmen Sandiego? That was great. The streaming giant is already hard at work on a Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego animated series, but this live-action feature will be a spin-off of that. Jane the Virgin's Gina Rodriguez will play the title character in the movie and will also voice her for the animated series. No writer or director has been announced just yet, but hey, here's hoping whoever it is has the good sense to fill the soundtrack with rockapella. Am I right? Of course I'm right. They were the best. Finally, at long last, we actually have some solid information on Stranger Things Season 3, also Netflix. I guess it's the Netflix section of our news program today. Producer Sean Levy revealed some really cool tidbits about the new season. Season 3 is going to be set in the summer of 1985, so no school this time around. Hope it doesn't mean Mr. Clark's left out, because he's great. We also know that the romance between Mike and Eleven still going strong, and Lucas and Max are still a thing as well. Ah, young love. Levy hinted that we'll be seeing a lot more of Steve Harrington, and yes, it sounds like they're doubling down on Dead Steve, which was a highlight of Season 2 for sure. The only other thing that we really know for sure is that poor Will gets to take a break this season a little bit. He'll still be around and dealing with stuff, but he's not going to be tortured quite as heavily, or so the evil producers say. We'll see. Season 3 goes into production next month. I really liked the first 2 seasons. I wasn't sure they were going to be able to carry off the second season because the first one was so good, but I really liked it. It was definitely different. The CEO of developer MidBoss has stepped down after allegations of misconduct surfaced online. Now, it started last week when the musician Liquid Crystal started a thread on Twitter about the studio, which developed 2064 read-only memories, and its CEO, Matt Kahn, saying they severely mistreat their workers and have a streak of taking advantage of young queer people in tough situations in order to underpay them. She also said that Khan has been accused of sexual harassment and inappropriate behavior. Then former employee Tyler Gauswick also chimed in saying, "Everything in this thread is true and unfortunately my reality. A lot of sexual harassment and misbehavior, emotional manipulation, and other really toxic behavior. I was threatened with litigation when I spoke out." Khan responded with a tweet of his own saying, "I've made some major mistakes and I plan to own up and fix them. However, I can't give everyone answers immediately, but please know that I will not skirt from my responsibility to give you answers." But then later it was reported that Khan stepped down from his CEO role at MidBoss, as well as CEO of the GamerX Foundation, a nonprofit that runs a series of LGBTQIA game events. Taking over in his role at MidBoss is co-founder and president Tony Roca. Man, you know what people really like? What they really like is watching Fortnite streams. A Fortnite stream that featured 100 prominent YouTubers drew in a record-breaking number of viewers. The stream that was organized by Spanish YouTuber El Rubius OMG, who was joined by 99 other YouTubers, all playing Fortnite. It was live streamed on YouTube and drew in more than 1 million concurrent views. 1.1 million to be a little bit more exact, which technically beat Ninja's stream with Drake a few weeks ago on Twitch, and is right up there with the E-League Boston Counter-Strike Major, which drew in about 1 million viewers on Twitch earlier this year. So, whew, pretty impressive stuff, and honestly, it's an example that YouTube can still pull in some pretty impressive gaming numbers, although we should note that it took 100 people to outdo Drake, which is crazy when you think about it. Regardless, I think Fortnite's doing okay. All right, that's all the news for this roundup. Let us know what you think of these updates in the comments down below. To make sure you get news from every corner of the internet every weekday, like this video, and if you're new to this channel, subscribe to the know. Thanks to Blue Apron for sponsoring this update. You want to get better at cooking? Well, there's no time like the present, and Blue Apron makes it easy. They're the #1 meal kit delivery service in the US, and there's a reason for that. They deliver fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and step-by-step recipes right to your door, and every meal can be cooked in less than 45 minutes. Plus, their menu changes with 12 new recipes every week, so you don't keep repeating the same thing over and over. And they're flexible too. Maybe you're busy one week and you don't want as many meals. totally fine. I like Blue Apron because I was never much of a cook. I got started late. I didn't do a lot of cooking when I was growing up, but I really enjoy the process and I've been trying to improve. Lucky for me, there's always something I'm interested in and always like something that's like, ooh, I'll do this one. This week I'm tackling the cherry glazed chicken and the cumin spiced wonton noodles, but they've got a bunch of different options. If you want to try it out, Blue Apron is offering our nobodies $30 off your first order. Just go to blueapron.com/theknow and it'll be applied when you redeem the offer on their site.